cold start to
News with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Friday. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
With 2 days in a row, temperatures in the low 30s.
Yeah, it is a chilly start to the day, Gary, and warming up a little bit, but today still feeling very fall-like. Let's take a look at those temperatures outside this morning. We are waking up to the 30s and 20s, officially 29 in Rome right now, so you're likely going to see some frost on your windshield heading out the door. 28 in Hamilton, 33 heading down into Johnstown, 21 crisp degrees up in the High Peaks area of the Adirondacks, and 23 degrees up in Watertown. So warmest spots, I should say, heading down farther west and south of us in the mid-30s, if that. Downtown Utica, we have mainly clear skies, allowing those temperatures to fall rather quickly so far today. And again, what are we tracking? A sunny, less windy day today. I know yesterday was very blustery. Today, yes, it is still a little gusty, but not too bad compared to the breezy conditions we saw on Thursday. Football night is dry again. This continues a very dry stretch of Friday night lights. This has been, I guess, pretty unusual, seeing the fact that we barely had any rainfall at all for any football games. And then we're looking warmer for the weekend. So we're talking maybe 60s, but also we're going to be dodging some rain chances. But will we see any during the daytime hours? We're going to track those rainfall chances in that detailed weekend forecast coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. We have brand new video for you.
This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Welcome back to Sunrise. Happy Friday, everybody. Today we begin with a look at the current conditions on the roadways this morning. It is a dry but frosty start, so budget a little bit extra time this morning to scrape some frost off your windshield or give your car time to heat up. Either way, visibility actually pretty clear out. The air is so dry that we're not only seeing a lot of fog trying to form here. Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Things are quiet here across the Mohawk Valley. And again, on our traffic tracker, it is mostly quiet. But back to that rollover we told you at the top of the hour. This is where that closure has taken place. It's on Route 365. It is heading in the westbound direction. That's that road closure is. So again, we're going to stay tuned to see when they give us information on the opening. But for now, again, that section of 365, closer to Route 28 right there, is shut down for the time being. So today, it's a frosty, quiet start to your morning. This afternoon, we climb into the 50s. A little breezy, not as windy as yesterday, though, but as we head into tonight and eventually the next few days, we're going to see some slightly warmer temperatures. We'll have that weekend forecast for you coming up in a couple of minutes. Gary?
And I just heard on the scanner, they just reopened.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. On this Friday, it is a very chilly Friday to start. Temperatures in the 30s and 20s. In fact, a live look outside. We begin with clear skies out there early today, and again, that temperature sitting at 29 degrees officially at Griffiths in Rome, 28 the dew point. So that means there's incredibly dry air here across the Mohawk Valley. A look at the radar and satellite right now. It looks dry locally, but obviously the elephant in the room here is all that rainfall out west. Now, this high pressure is pretty strong. A lot of this rain is going to fall apart. Now, there could be a stray sprinkle overnight, and maybe even a sprinkle tomorrow afternoon. But this, again, system is largely expected to fall apart as it continues east. So tomorrow's temperatures are going to be in the mid-60s for highs. Sunshine, you've got a little bit of it mixed in with clouds, and I have a 0% chance of rain here, just because if we do get any sprinkles, it's not really a whole lot of any notable rainfall, but still, if you want to do any pumpkin picking, tomorrow's weather is looking great. Again, we're talking mid-60s here on Saturday. As we head into Sunday, it's looking to be dry and warm for basically the entire day. As we approach the overnight hours, that's when a more notable rain system moves in, and that is going to bring our next chance of widespread rain showers. So you can see right here, there's that system I was showing you. It's going to move its way east and progressively fall apart. Now, there could be, again, a stray sprinkle Friday night right here, and then Saturday morning right there. Then it's dry again. It's sunny for Sunday, and then there comes that massive low-pressure system. This is the one that we're likely going to see notable rainfall from this. And this arrives Monday and Tuesday, or early Monday morning into early Tuesday morning next week. So on our Skycast, there's plenty of sun today, highs in the 50s. Tonight, again, clouds move in, maybe a stray sprinkle, overnight lows in the 30s and 40s. Not nearly as cold as this morning. Then by Saturday afternoon, we're going to see a mix of sun and clouds, a stray sprinkle possible as that front begins to weaken. And then we're going to be quiet Saturday night into Sunday. South wind at play here, so it's going to be a warmer overnight, approaching the upper 60s, maybe even low 70s by Sunday afternoon. And then there comes that rainfall moving in overnight around midnight. So your 7-day forecast, because of that late arrival of rainfall Sunday, we removed that rainfall icon from our 7-day forecast. So Monday, rainier of the days ahead, and then following that, a little bit of a cool down Wednesday and Thursday of next week. And I mentioned yesterday we were watching the lake effect, or the lake temperatures for the Great Lakes, and there could be a very minor lake effect response next week. I think it's too warm for anything regarding snow. I think it's a little too early for that, but maybe some lake effect rain next week. So it's going to be that time of year, Gary.
Yeah, those two words together.
I know, right?
Eric, thanks. The time right now is 5:23. Still once again, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Libitor, meteorologist Eric Gage over in the Weather Center. And Eric, you're tracking some 20-degree temperatures here in mid-October.
I know, right? It is a cold start, Gary. We're sitting even almost in the teens in the Adirondacks. Yeah, it's very cold this morning. Look at those temperatures as you head out the door today. 29 officially in Rome, so we are in the 20s again for the second time this season. Last time before that, again, was April 18th. But either way, we look at the Adirondacks, 21 degrees, Saranac Lake, 23, Watertown, 34 in Johnstown, heading down the valley, and 28 heading south in Hamilton, 37, much more balmy in Binghamton. Downtown Utica, live view outside. It is a clear, frosty start to the day today, so you're going to want to budget a little bit extra time this morning to scrape some frost off the windshield. Today will be sunny, a little less windy than yesterday, so that's the warming side of things here. In fact, tonight, again, it's looking dry for Friday Night Lights for any football games. This has continued a very dry stretch of weather. The last time we had rain happening on Friday night, so that's a cool thing to see here. And it's trending warmer for the weekend. I know yesterday it was very cold. Now to, this weekend we got 60-plus degree temperatures expected. Either way, though, today high 57, mostly sunny. It is a dry day today, and again, we're going to talk about the rainfall chances. We're cutting it close here and there throughout the weekend. We'll have the details on that coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. And don't forget, the storm Tracker 2 is never more than 10 minutes away each morning. President Trump is scheduled.
Channel 2 is brought to you by Holland Farms Bakery and Deli.
Welcome back to Sunrise. Happy Friday, everybody. Our photo of the day today takes us to Camden. And a great shot right here of friends in a fall day. And the viewer who submitted this said that these kids were grabbing some fishing poles, heading down to do some fishing. And of course, for fall time, what a better activity than that, especially in the beautiful area we have, especially up there near Camden. So again, shout out to Renee for this amazing submission here, and shout out to all you watching from Camden this morning. If you have a photo like this you'd like to share with us, send it to WKTV.com/weather/pic. So a quick preview of our 7-day forecast here. We do have plenty of sunshine today. The weekend is trending a little bit more on the dry side. In fact, even warmer too. Look at these temperatures. We're in the 60s. Saturday near 70. In fact, some spots might actually get above 70 as we head into Sunday. Next week looking a little more unsettled and cool, but this weekend we're dodging a few rain chances. We'll time out those chances coming up in just a couple of minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Did you know there is a monthly
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
The time now is 5:49, and it is time to welcome the newest member of our Morning Mug Club, brought to you by Holland Farms Bakery and Deli. The North Utica Community Center will host its annual Fall Craft Fair this Saturday. It'll take place at the Community Center at 50 Riverside Drive in North Utica. There will be 30 crafters showcasing their work. So come on down to the craft fair again tomorrow from 10 to 3 for the annual North Utica Community Center Fall Craft Fair. And if you would like to become a member of our Morning Mug Club, our contact information is right there on your screen. The Morning Mug Club,
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
A frosty and cold start to your day today, but as we head into the weekend, we'll see some slightly warmer temperatures. A live look at downtown Utica. Clear, quiet conditions early today. Again, budget a little extra time this morning to scrape some frost off your windshield. Temperatures in the 20s, climbing eventually into the 50s by this afternoon with plenty of sun, a little blustery of winds. Not nearly as windy as yesterday, but still a little bit noticeable. We look at the radar and satellite, and we can see there's an elephant in the room here, the rain out to our west. A lot of rainfall impacting the Great Lakes region. Now, as we progress throughout the day today, this rainfall will slowly fall apart, but we can't rule out rain entirely, at least in terms of light sprinkles. And those times will be either tonight, tomorrow afternoon briefly, and then more notably rain will arrive heading into Sunday night into Monday. In the meantime, if you have no plans tomorrow for any fall activities, something to mention too is to go out maybe pumpkin picking. Some of you might already have your jack-o'-lanterns already carved out, but still, you got temperatures in the 60s tomorrow, sunshine, 0% chance of rain. I put that there just because for the most part looking dry. A stray sprinkle won't really impact pumpkin picking all too much. Again, the fields are expected to remain dry. This weekend, though, too, partly sunny on Saturday. Temperature 64 degrees. As we head into Sunday, it's a little warmer, looking dry, mostly sunny to start. Clouds increase later on, and then we'll see rain arrive during the overnight hours. So we can see that low pressure out to our west. That'll move in. It'll slowly fall apart. Again, you can see the rain chances both again tonight, briefly, sprinkles. Same thing tomorrow afternoon. A few light sprinkles, and sunshine starts Sunday. Clouds increase, and then there is that rainfall. And it's going to be a pretty rainy overnight heading into Monday. So here in our Skycast, lots of sun today. It's a dry afternoon, highs in the 50s. By tonight, we're down into the 30s and 40s. Not nearly as cold as this morning due to a south wind just starting to move in. Tomorrow, we're in the 50s, approaching the mid-60s. A few sprinkles here and there. Tomorrow night, south wind really starts to kick in. Overnight lows only in the 40s and 50s. And then by Sunday afternoon, we are approaching near 70, low 70s in parts of the area. Then following that, we'll see that rainfall begin to move in as we head into the overnight hours. So your 7-day forecast, due to that rainfall arriving after sunset, we removed the rain icon itself from our 7-day here on Sunday. And then on Monday and Tuesday next week, we're going to see those temperatures fall from the upper 60s down into the upper 50s, low 60s, with a better shot for lake effect rainfall Wednesday and Thursday of next week. We'll be right back.
News with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us on this Friday morning. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And get ready to head out to some 20-degree temperatures right now, right?
It is downright cold out there. I had to wear a layer or two to head outside this morning. In fact, you guys probably should yourself. The temperatures to start your day today, we begin in the 20s in Rome. Heading up into the Adirondacks, even a lot cooler up there. High peaks at 21 degrees at Saranac Lake. Even in the 20s down in Hamilton, 34 still in Johnstown, heading down the valley, and 25 up north toward Watertown. Downtown Utica, it's clear, it's dry out there today. Again, just a little frosty as you head out to work. So maybe budget a little bit extra time to scrape some frost off the windshield today. It will be sunny, less windy today compared to yesterday. In fact, slightly warmer too. On top of that, tonight for football, Friday Night Lights looking dry again as this dry stretch of football nights here in central New York has continued on. Finally, we are looking warmer for the weekend, temperature-wise, but will we see any rain showers? We're cutting it close. It is looking mostly dry, but there still is a chance of dodging a shower or two. We're talking about those chances coming up in a couple of minutes, but first again, today it's sunny, temperatures in the 50s. We are tracking that warm-up this weekend and what follows it as we head to next week in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. We have brand new video for you this morning of a
Welcome back. Happy Friday. Time now 6:11 as we head outside to work today. We're dealing with quiet conditions, clear skies, but you might be dealing with some frost this morning. Budget a little extra time today to go out and either warm your car or scrape off that frost early this morning. Either way, that's the only impact travel-wise today you're expecting. So far, fog not really a big concern this morning, too. In fact, most locations here across the state looking fog-free. Radar also looking dry this morning. And when it comes to our traffic tracker, again, green roadways here across central New York. Reminder, earlier this morning we were talking about the road being closed along Route 365. Heading toward Route 26 right there. That has opened actually within the last hour or so. So there's no impacts there. The roads are open, 365, both directions. Route 26 is looking okay to start your day. So heading outside this morning, again, a little frosty as we progress throughout the afternoon. Temperatures climb into the 50s with lots of sunshine. Not too bad of a day today. But as we head into the weekend, we'll see warming temperatures and maybe a brief sprinkle or even some widespread rain. We'll talk about the timing of those chances coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. We are staying on the story of the chicken
Prices and local company. It's Wheelock Disposal. The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. We begin with a frosty start to the day. It's downright chilly, well, for lack of a better word here today. Taking a live look outside in downtown Utica. We have those clear skies, allowing those temperatures to free fall rapidly across the region. In fact, how cold is it right now? Officially at Griffiths and Rome, we sit at 28 degrees. A lot of dry air at play here with a dew point of 26. And the winds right now calm after a very blustery day today. Now, today's highs are expected to be a little warmer than yesterday in the upper 50s. And the winds not nearly as strong. So that's the changes today compared to yesterday. But we are going to still see plenty of sun, even though on our doorstep, we've got this monster of an area of rain showers out over the Great Lakes region, primarily over Lake Huron. But as we progress throughout the day today, this high pressure currently over our region will be eroding these rain showers as they push east. A couple of those sprinkles might survive, and those could arrive either late tonight and or heading into the middle of the day tomorrow. In the meantime, though, speaking of tomorrow's forecast, a high of 64 degrees. I put a rain chance of 0% just because even if we do see a sprinkle, it's not going to impact the pumpkin picking all too much, especially as we enter in a couple of weeks, Halloween. So that's interesting how just a short time from now, we're already approaching the end of October. Either way, though, tomorrow is looking mostly dry, maybe an isolated afternoon sprinkle. Sunday is looking almost entirely dry, a lot warmer, approaching near 70. But then as we head into the overnight hours, that's when more notable rain will begin to arrive. So let's look at the bigger picture here. There's a high pressure. Watch the rain as it tries to move east. It's going to progressively fall apart. Maybe again a sprinkle as we head into this into tonight right here. Watch it, rain chance, and then tomorrow afternoon, a brief sprinkle possible. Then following that, it's dry for mainly the entire weekend until you can see after sunset Sunday night. There's that broad area of low pressure surging its way eastward. That's when we could see notable rain later on this weekend. So here in our Skycast, lots of sunshine today, high temperatures in the 50s. By tonight, we're down into the 40s and 30s, not nearly as cold as this morning. And as we head into tomorrow, we're in the 60s with sun and clouds, stray sprinkle possible. Tomorrow night, it's going to be a little warmer, lows in the 40s and 50s. That south wind really starting to kick in here. Then Sunday afternoon, we're in the 70s in some pockets of the area, with sunshine turning to rain showers as we head into the overnight hours. So your 7-day forecast, due to that rain arriving late Sunday, we removed the rainfall icon from that 7-day forecast. And still expecting rain overnight and into Monday. Then next week, it's looking a little cooler. We're in the low 50s for highs Wednesday and Thursday. Maybe some lake effect rainfall Wednesday and Thursday. But for now, we're enjoying the sunshine today, Gary, and we'll be a pretty warm and overall pretty pleasant weekend.
At least it's not lake effect.
Yes.
No. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us. Thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Libitor. On this Friday, meteorologist Eric Gage is over in the Weather Center tracking some 20-degree temperatures here in mid-October. Boy, it is cold out there, Eric.
Yeah, that's right, Gary. It is downright chilly. Grab the scraper to brush some frost off the windshield this morning. We take a look at the temperatures to start your day today. We are in the 20s and 30s, so yes, definitely frosty early today. So we're sitting at 28 in Rome, 35 Hamilton, 21 heading up into the Adirondacks and the High Peaks area. We zoom in here, we have 28 Dolgeville and Little Falls, 31 Fort Plain, 26 Otter Lake, 28 Washington Mills, heading south 32 degrees in Cherry Valley, 31 Richfield Springs, and 32 degrees in Oneonta. A live view of downtown Utica this morning. It is a dry and clear start to your day today. Not a whole lot of fog reported here across the state either. So what can you track today? Well, we've got sunshine, less windy conditions compared to yesterday. Tonight for football, at least high school football, it's dry. It's clear again as this dry stretch of Friday night lights continues. And then following that, this weekend is on the warmer side. We got temperatures in the 60s expected, but will we see any rain chances? We'll talk about that coming up in a couple of minutes. But again, today it's sunny. We're in the 50s. We'll have a look at those rain chances. And again, the latest in that weekend forecast and what follows next week in terms of temperature and rainfall in that full forecast. Gary?
Eric, thanks. President Trump is scheduled to meet with you.
Omni, cutting-edge surgery without the cutting.
This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Very chilly look outside in Cooperstown early this morning. Our photo of the day today takes us to a different location here in central New York. Today we head up to Camden with a great photo right here of a couple of friends, or at least a trio of friends right there, enjoying a nice hike heading out to a fishing spot that had some fishing lines or fishing poles with them too. And this was taken by Renee in the Camden area, and you can see again just the vibrant colors there surrounding it. Again, personally my favorite season of the year. And actually I did a poll a couple of weeks ago asking all of you what your favorite season of the year is, and fall came out on top above anything else. I believe second place was summer, and then it was followed by spring and then winter last. I'm not entirely sure about that final answer though, but either way, we are tracking a little bit of a warmer stretch heading into the weekend. Some rain chances, especially Sunday night into Monday. We're going to break down those chances heading into the next couple of minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. One airline has announced
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Today we're starting out with chilly conditions, but before we get to that forecast, I mentioned a few minutes ago about that poll regarding your favorite season. And 58% said fall, 31% said summer, and winter and spring were very close. 6% winter, 4% spring out of 546 votes. Now, personally, I think that maybe the winter crowd a little underrepresented. A lot of folks on social media that we talk to that are big fans of winter. Either way, there's no wintertime weather expected in the short term. No snow expected. It is a frosty start to the day, though. A live look at downtown Utica. Clear skies, temperature at 28 crisp degrees out there. Calm winds right now after a blustery day yesterday. And this afternoon, we are expecting highs in the 50s with a little bit less wind, again, compared to yesterday. Radar and satellite shows quiet weather here locally, but elephant in the room, rain showers over Lake Huron right now. Now, this high pressure over us is expected to erode a lot of that rainfall, but we'll show how it behaves as that system moves east coming up in a minute or so. Still, though, this weekend, especially on Saturday, you got great pumpkin picking weather. We're seeing highs in the 60s. I mentioned a 0% rain chance. Most of us will be dry. There are a few isolated spots that could see a light drizzle, if that. But either way, the field conditions are dry too. So head out and maybe pick out some pumpkins for Halloween, which is just around the corner. And we look at the weekend. We're in the 60s again Saturday, upper 60s. In fact, some spots are likely to hit the 70s on Sunday as sunshine moves in, but rain, widespread rain, moves in Sunday night. So let's take a look at the bigger picture here. Here's that system. Watch as it moves its way east. So we're going to note rain chances right here. A brief sprinkle Friday night right here, and then Saturday afternoon that wave moves in, a brief sprinkle possible, then it dries up and remains mostly dry until after sunset. Look at this wide area of rainfall. That moves in overnight Sunday into Monday. There's a huge dip in the jet stream right there too that will affect later at next week as well. So today it's sunny, it's a little breezy, temperatures in the 50s. Tonight we're in the 40s and 30s, not as cold as this morning. And then tomorrow, sunshine and clouds, a brief sprinkle possible. And then by the overnight, it's going to be warmer Saturday night due to that strong south wind here. Sunshine to start your day Sunday, clouds slowly increase as we approach the evening. And then here comes that rainfall arriving as we head into Sunday night and into Monday. Your 7-day forecast, there's that widespread rain later on in the overnight into early Monday. Following that, as I mentioned, that dip in the jet stream takes place. That might usher in some cooler temperatures aloft. Basically, could mean some lake effect rainfall Wednesday and Thursday next week. So we're that time of year, the Great Lakes are very warm, and as the temperatures drop, that difference can produce those conditions. But either way, for now, Gary, today, for Friday, and for much of the weekend, it's looking pretty pleasant.
Yeah, at least that lake's still warm.
Yes.
And we're not seeing snow. Eric, thanks. Well, it is deja vu.